The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 82, Ruby Alchemists. I'll give it a thought, Leora tells Cyrilda before standing up. Anyway, I should get going. I've been putting off my schoolwork lately. Wait, has Marwyn given any dates yet? Lorik asks Leora. She has, but with everything that's happened, it can wait, Leora replies. Let me know what day works in the next 4 days. I'll stop by before the limited dungeon opens. Lorik says, causing her to sigh. All right, I'll let her know. Leroa says before leaving, You four should get back to the academy too. I'll message you when it's time to leave. Cyrilda says while reaching out, Hang on, Master. Could I go to the limited dungeon too? Lorik asks, surprising her. You can't enter it, though. Only lesser mages can enter. Cyrilda replies while lowering her arm slightly, I don't want to enter the dungeon, but you said it puts pressure on a person's soul, so I want to see if the dungeon uses the soul law. Though I've never tried examining a dungeon before, I'm sure I could tell if it does or doesn't use that law. Lorik replies, causing her to nod. All right, I'll let the researchers the king is sending know, Cyrilda says before teleporting the four of them back to the academy. Do you think there's enough time for a task before we have to leave? Vera asks after they've appeared in their dorm's living room. I'm sure there is, as long as it's not a long one, Rowan replies as Lorik walks toward the door. Where are you going? Sarah asks him. I'm going to go down to the Ruby Alchemists Guild. I did agree to sell them some of Nixfang's fur and blood. Lorik replies. Don't you need an appointment or something? Vera asks. Maybe, but I was told I can drop by whenever, so it should be fine. If not, I'll just make an appointment while I'm there. Lorik replies before leaving the dorm. Nixfang leaves his soul and insists on taking him there. Lorik climbs on and leaves the academy. He makes Nixfang slow down as she tries to run at full speed. Following the map on his communications bracelet, he arrives at the guild in 10 minutes. It would have taken at least half an hour on foot. Along the way, Lorik sent Headmaster Arlen a message. He asked him if he was available to take a look at Nixfang today. Heading to the guild reminded him of his promise he had made with Arlen. The Ruby Alchemist Guild building looks like a mansion. There are at least 3 floors, and on each end is a tower. The mansion is surrounded by a stone wall with metal spikes on top. There's only a single gate leading in, which Lorik rides Nixfang to. The guards ready themselves upon seeing Nixfang coming. Had they not seen Lorik, they'd likely attack before she got close. Nixfang stops almost 10 feet from the gate. Lorik climbs down and she enters his soul again. The guards relax a bit, seeing Nixfang disappear. What business do you have here? One of the guards asks Lorik as he walks up to them. I'm here to discuss selling my familiar's blood and fur with your guildmaster. My name is Lorik Bolt, and my familiar is a Fenrir. Lorik replies, causing the guard to turn to the others. They whisper to each other quickly before one opens the gate and runs through. Please wait here for confirmation. The guildmaster should be on her break now, so it won't take long. The guard says, causing Lorik to nod. Why do we have to wait? We're here to sell something they wanted. Shouldn't they just let us in? Nixfang asks, speaking straight to Lorik's mind. They didn't know we'd be coming today, so it's understandable. Besides, with what happened with those clones at the tournament, they might not be expecting us so soon. Lorik replies, speaking to Nixfang with his own thoughts. I still don't see why I wasn't allowed to help you fight that guy. I wanted revenge for Vera too. Nixfang says, causing Lorik to smile faintly. You're still only a 6th-tier lesser mage. While you're strong enough to fight against 2nd-tier or even 1st-tier, that's still far from a mage, especially one who could regenerate like that. Lorik replies as the guard who ran off returns. He's clear, they say while opening the gate. They motion for Lorik to enter, and he does so. The gate closes behind him as he sees a familiar face. It's the same man who approached him on behalf of the Ruby Alchemists during the matches. It's been a while, Lorik. I'm glad to see you're well, and congratulations on tying for 1st place. The man says while reaching out to shake Lorik's hand. Thank you, and I don't believe I caught your name last time, Lorik says while shaking the man's hand. My apologies, my name is Jareth. I'm the Vice Guildmaster of the Ruby Alchemists. We're happy you're here. If you'll follow me, I'll lead you to the Guildmaster's office. Jareth says before turning and leading the way. He leads the way into the mansion and up to the second floor. Is her office not on the third floor or in one of the towers? Lorik asks as they step onto the second floor. No, the third floor is used for storage. We keep extra tables, chairs, materials, and bottles up there. We do most of our experiments down in the basement or in a concrete building out back in case it's volatile. But it's not too uncommon for our tables and the like to break, so we keep them up there, away from the explosions. The towers are where we do our research. Most of our journals and documents are stored there. Jareth replies before stopping in front of a door. There's a sign that reads Guildmaster Izara. Jareth knocks before a voice shouts back, "Come in," they say, their voice muffled by the door. Jareth opens it and motions for Lorik to enter. The room inside is a mess of papers and books. Bookshelves line the walls, most missing quite a few books. There's a table in each of the back corners. On each table is a pile of books and stacks of papers. The floor is covered in papers and books. There's a desk in the center of the room. The desk has a wall of books on it. There's only a small gap as wide as a person's head in the center. A woman can be seen through the gap. She's wearing a red robe and matching suit. Her hair is dark brown and tied into a ponytail. She stands as she sees Lorik and Jareth enter. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Lorik. My name is Ysara. I'm the guildmaster here," Ysara says while walking around the desk and shaking Lorik's hand. "It's nice to meet you too," Lorik replies while taking her hand. "But if you don't mind, could we hurry this up? I have some other things I need to do today," he adds, causing her to nod. "That's fine, truthfully. My break's almost over and I have a meeting right after, so the sooner we're done, the better," Ysara replies. She turns to Jareth, who holds his hand out. A syringe appears in his palm as Nifang leaves Lorik's soul. "I've been brushing her with this. There's quite a bit of her fur stored in it," Lorik says while handing Ysara the brush he and Leora used on Nixfang. Ysara takes it as Jareth starts to draw Nixfang's blood. "Don't worry, we won't take too much blood. We raise a few magical beasts that produce valuable alchemy ingredients. I draw their blood from time to time, so I know what I'm doing," Jareth says before pulling the syringe out. He takes a second and fills it with blood before stepping back. As he did, Ysara got a box out of her storage ring. She emptied the gem on the brush into the box, filling it halfway with fur. She hands the brush back to Lorik as Nixfang returns to his soul. With the 2 syringes of blood and the fur, that'll come out to about 3,800. We'll go ahead and round that up to 4,000, though, Ysara says while writing on a notepad. She rips the paper off before handing it to Jareth, who skims it over before storing it away. He then takes a brown bag full of gold coins out. He counts through them quickly before taking a few out and handing the bag to Lorik. "You carry this much coin on your person?" Lorik asks, a little surprised, before taking the bag. "Not normally," Jareth says with a smile. "When I heard you were here, I grabbed it from the safe we stored it in. We often do business from here, so it's handy to keep some coin nearby." Jareth replies before a small stone on Ysara's desk starts beeping. "Perfect timing. It's time for my meeting. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Lorik. If you ever want to sell more of your Fenrir's fur or blood, feel free to stop by. Jareth, will you lead him out?" Ysara says while grabbing the stone and tapping on it. "Of course. Good luck and don't fall asleep, Ysara," Jareth says jokingly while walking out of her office. Lorik follows him out and downstairs before leaving the mansion. The guards open the gate as they approach. "Have a good day, Lorik," he says as Nixfang leaves Lorik's soul. "Thanks, you too," Lorik replies before claiming on Nixfang and leaving. "How are you feeling, Nixfang?" Lorik asks her once they're out of earshot of the guards. "Fine, though the needles weren't fun," Nixfang replies, causing Lorik to chuckle. Lorik checks his bracelet and sees that the headmaster replied to him. He tells him that he's free now and to stop by when he can. He gives his location, the same private training room he went to last time for the headmaster's special task. Lorik rides Nixfang into the academy and to the training room. Like last time, he finds Calder standing next to the headmaster. The two stop talking to one another when Lorik stops next to him. He climbs off Nixfang and greets them. They let him into the training room right away. Nixfang has to enter Lorik's soul, then come back out, though. The door is too small for her to easily get through.